Hey everyone, I was watching the George Zimmerman court hearing today. Man, it was kind of interesting. Some of the stuff that George's friend, who he was explaining to the police officer, he wrote the book what George said to him, and then find out George kind of lied to some of the uh, news interviews that Jody sound like Jody Arias. Let's do new interviews. Let's change the story. It seems the story is different. And then the big bang was at the time George said he didn't know the law, that he went to school for law school, for college for law, so he become a police officer. Now, how stupid could that be? But he knew what stand by your law means, stand your ground. So he knew what stand your ground means. He kind of lied on that to police officers and said, I didn't know what stand your ground means, but he knows. He went to college here to get that pass so you become a police officer. Um, but yeah, there's like inconsistency still in George Zimmerman's story. Um, and the police officer, his best friend's police officer, why would he write a story what George Zimmerman did? He wasn't there at the time when all this occurred of shooting and what happened. It's like you listen to hearsay at the point of I was there, but he can't remember what he did. So story still continues to be different. You know, George Zimmerman needs to just go ahead and confess that he did pursue Trayvon Martin and caused the fight. He was the instigator. George Zimmerman was the instigator of this whole entire thing. And of course, going back to where he was at the different times of 911 calls, and then he says he was in between his side or the sidewalk between the two streets that the one street he lives on, waiting for the police over there. But yesterday, in one of the videos, he reported that a police officer that night passed me. Why didn't he wave him down before he went on? There was a police officer just drove by. He could have waved that police officer to stop, saying, "This is it. This is the place. You need to help." But no. And some of the stories that the residents not adding up the right way, especially that one name, Mr. Good. He said he couldn't see that much in the dark anyhow. He didn't say he had his porch light on. All he said, I saw shadows. And the only time he got up, saw whatever light was out there. That's all he could see is George after the shooting. Now, if George shot Trayvon, if he was underneath Trayvon Martin, shot him, he would have had blood on his hands. He would have had blood on that jacket. His jacket was red. He would have had blood on that jacket. Where did the blood go? Where was the blood on the shirt? So there's pieces missing. And he was praying that there's somebody was videotaping all of this. And of course, it's that cover of his hands. Like, how could you be screaming if you had your mouth covered up? And in the dark, how did he see the gun? How did Trayvon see his gun? Pitch black. You couldn't see if he was wearing a gun in pitch black, dark. Now, come on. Could you see a gun in pitch black? A black gun in a black holster? The only thing you could do is feel if it was a gun. Georgia was the only one who knew he had the gun. And his friend, the police officer who wrote the book, the story, he's the one who introduced him with the gun, saying, yeah, you need to have a gun, and your wife needs to have a gun to protect yourself from these colored people out here. Saying that Trayvon was looking inside homes that were empty. Well, how could homes be empty? Because it seems on both sides here, both housing additions were full of people. So if there were alarm systems on these homes, they would have noticed. If they had dogs, they got pets, a pet will start barking. Some type of animal will start making noise if they know there's some type of strange noises outside. Any animal will make a noise or move the right way. So, what's it going to be tomorrow? What's going to be thrown out? O'Mara is doing stuff that he doesn't want to have the prosecutor put in, but he can. So, what's the difference? He can switch it around, rephrase it, but he doesn't want the state can rephrase it a different way to proving that the stand your own ground in that school manual book he went to learn, showing that he knew the law. If you're going for law enforcement, you have to know all these laws in your state to pass the state exam to be certified. So what do you think? Tell me what you think about your thoughts tonight of the court hearing of George Zimmerman. Talk to you later. Bye now.